Apex Legends Season 13 came out May 10th, and since then, it's been making the rounds on streaming channels due to some major updates, including the impenetrable new legend, seismic map changes, and major weapon balance changes. And while the rest of the community is still busy identifying the strongest weapons and saviors, Imperial Hal has made his stance very clear. What is it? Let's find out in this video. First up, Imperial Hal's new choice of weapon. The TSM pro player Imperial Hal, who's known for his skills and Apex Legends, has his sights set on a weapon he thinks is broken and OP in the game's 13th season. The said weapon is Havoc. During his stream on May 26th, he decided to share his thoughts on the weapon being the most broken in the Apex meta, while also sharing why the AR is such a strong pick. According to him, the gun's become OP, or overpowered if you're new to the jargon, since the changes made to its recoil in the Saviors patch. He said that in the seasonal update, the game creators at Respawn decided to decrease the initial kickback on the weapon when firing, which has made it easier to land shots at a long range. And now that it's equipped with the turbocharger, its AR is unmatched, and in the right player's hands, it can deal a serious amount of damage even from a distance. Next, we have Havoc in the past. Being part of the Apex artillery since 2019, Havoc has always been a community favorite that truly packs a punch. The AR has been solid since Apex Legends Season 8 and has been known to deal some serious damage. However, gamers have often had an issue with the weapon's charge-up time, but its popularity has been growing, and with its new upgrade, the weapon can be a fan favorite, because in his stream, Hal further specified how using the Havoc at 3x optic can add minimal recoil, making it an effective strategy to beat opponents from a distance, and the close range of the weapon was always a plus, so that makes it a strong and reliable gun in your artillery if you choose to go with it. Don't forget to track down a 3x scope and turbocharger to remove the windup time when you do pick the weapon though, or Hal's and our advice will be for nothing. So, what else is new in the 13th season? The Havoc isn't the only thing that got an upgrade in the 13th season. In fact, the changes in the entire weapon balance have brought a major upgrade in the game's meta. But while that's one of the most talked about topics in gaming circles, there are 3 other updates we definitely want to discuss before we go back to Imperial Hal's opinions about the game, which, mind you, aren't the best when it comes to the newest upgrades. In fact, you may be surprised by his opinions about what generally have been pretty favorable features, but to find out about those, you'll have to stick to the end of the video. Until then, let's talk about what's new in the current installment of Apex Legends. And now for Apex's new legend, Newcastle. First is the new heroic defender, Newcastle, a shield-bearing knight with the power to completely lock down a location in fortifications. We've also seen a lot of theories about his kit, a glimpse of which we got in the trailer of Season 13. However, now that we do have full intel on the legend, let's have a discussion on that too. First is his mobile shield, which is an energy shield that can be controlled via drone. This is one of his tactical weapons. Then there's the Retrieve the Wounded passive that we see when he deploys a nether barrier while reviving Pathfinder. And lastly, there's the ultimate castle wall that can withstand a hell of a lot more damage than a rampart's walls. In fact, adding a legend with so much of his focus on hard covering could even be an attempt to shake up the Gibraltar meta, a point where previous defensive characters like Watson and Rampart have been relatively weak, and we all know how Apex launches new characters a bit on the OP side, so if you do end up banging against too many brick walls in the first few weeks of the new season, take it as part of the new upgrade. Up next, Ranked Reworked. The second major upgrade in this season is the update in their ranked system. Apex has always tweaked their ranking systems before, but this one has to be a major overhaul in how ranking works in the game, because this season, you'll no longer be protected from deranking like in the past system. You know, where even if you dropped ranks, you never fell below the bottom tier of your current rank. This time, tier demotions will be part of the game, according to Respawn. As per the creators, the new systems are being introduced with the goal of addressing the struggle some players experience when they're promoted to new tiers but cannot climb higher ranks. So now, all players will have protection from tier demotion for 3 lost games after promotion to a higher tier. The new upgrade also emphasizes skill and teamwork. By changing RP for kills and adjusting the assist timer, they've enabled everyone in a team to receive some RP when one of the team gets a kill. This change, however, hasn't been too popular with players of the game, including Imperial Hal. While the gamer has shown his liking for weapon upgrades and other parts of the game, when asked about the ranked rework during his 5th of June stream, the TSM Pro called the competitive mode trash. Now, this is surprising, considering he'd initially supported the rework against the criticism it was receiving. But according to him, while he liked ranked at the beginning of Saviors, competitors, after a few weeks the mode has gotten progressively worse. His issue with Ranked Reloaded is the bot opponents he's matched with, making lobbies too easy for his skill level. The overall gaming community has had similar complaints about matchmaking, and that gold competitors are being put in matches with diamond and master level players, eliminating the thrill and excitement of the game. Looks like the pro TSM gamer isn't too happy about the way things are going in the game, especially with his frustrations with another update as well. And finally, we have Season 13 map changes. So another update in Season 13 is Storm Point, the newest map that Apex Legends has introduced in the game. In the trailer, we saw our legends murder a giant enemy crab, whose corpse, called the Downed Beast, is the newest POI. While the beast itself is an interesting addition, the fortified IMC armories that burst through the sand were a lot more exciting for fans. Like King Canyon's loot vaults, these armories are also packed with guns and attachments, though if you try to grab them, they summon AI-controlled specters, after which you're locked inside for 60 seconds. And if you survive, you can claim the loot and stroll out, or eject if you choose. For pro players like Hal, however, the new loot hotspots are a point of frustration, because you can easily get better loot from the armories versus looting a POI on the map. The TSM star aired his frustrations with the armories during a recent session of Apex, where he said that he didn't believe that they were needed on Storm Point and should have been added to World's Edge. We won't say he's wrong, because surviving the CPU-generated specters for 60 seconds isn't the biggest challenge, and that's what's frustrating for gamers like Hal, who have pointed out that the creators need to make that armory more of a challenge and not the freest loot in the game. Hal has also said that Storm Point, which has the best loot of any map, didn't need this addition. Instead, it could have been added to maps like World Edge. Now at this point we're not sure if Respawn would actually consider removing the feature, but the Apex Pro gamer did suggest a change where they could remove the ammo drops and cell drops to make it into a better experience for players like him. He's also voiced his dislike for Newcastle, saying that his abilities aren't strong enough to compete in Season 13, what with legends like Valkyrie, Caustic, and Gibraltar. Considering his preference for Valkyrie, who he's even suggested for players to win any ranked, it's understandable, but while Hal may not be too impressed with the newest legend added to the game, the solid 7% pickup rate Newcastle has maintained since arriving on May 10th speaks the opposite for the rest of the community. And it isn't as if he hates the newbie entirely, but for a gamer like him, legends require some damage abilities so as to avoid players relying entirely on their gun skill to win the game. He does have a point, and considering his level and history with Apex Legend, his points should be addressed by Respawn with at least some updates in the game. Whether that will happen or not though is something we'll all have to wait for. That's a wrap for this video. What's your take on Imperial Hal's opinion on Havoc and Apex Legends new season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.